you guys knew that you're going to shoot that badly and walk out with a double-digit win, I mean, would you have believed it when tonight started?
No. But I mean, we played really, really tough on the defensive end, and offensively, we were rebounding the basketball, getting second chance points, and I feel like we came out with a lot of energy, so I feel like that helped us a whole lot.
Yeah, I feel like the shots wasn't falling, but as a team, we picked each other up and told each other, like, keep shooting there, we're going to knock it down.
Coach has talked about with the new offense, maybe opening some things up for you on the offensive boards. It seemed like that showed tonight. I guess what goes into being able to control the offensive board so well like you guys did tonight?
I feel like tonight we just emphasized everything on like rebounding, because Coach always telling us that we need offensive rebounds. And, like, we always have 5 people back, so I just feel like everybody win a rebound tonight.
Marie, I mean, the shooting tonight, how frustrating was a night like this? Saw you kind of just looking at the sky a few times tonight.
It was very frustrating because my shot wasn't falling, but I had to think about, like, nobody on the team shot was really falling. We all were short. So I had to keep my mind in the game and just keep working hard on defense, and then my offense would come.
From an offensive standpoint, obviously shots weren't falling, but as far as settling into the things that you guys have changed, how did you feel like you guys did tonight? Obviously still early in the system.
I feel like we're still learning and still, going through, plays and stuff, but it'll come. And I feel like tonight was like a growing night for us. So we were, sometimes we didn't, know where to be. Sometimes we worked it out. And, and we stayed together as a team. So that's a big thing.
Go ahead.
You were just talking about miscommunications a little bit. I saw a few of those times, but how often did that happen tonight, and you guys recover well from that with the new offense or defensive setups or things like that?
With the offense, I feel like it happened often, but that's because we have to get used to the plays, and we just have to keep working together as a team and put everything together.
Mm-hmm. How has Coach P's response been to your work ethic trying to get better at the new offense?
I think she's liked it. We bought into what she was trying to do, and when she changed it, she told us early on it might be frustrating at first because we didn't know it, but as long as we bought all in, then everything would be good. And I think when we did have mishaps and miscommunication, I think us playing hard helped us play through it. So.
Sure. How important was the offensive rebounds tonight?
That was very important because we was outside, post players that was bigger than us. So, they were very important for everybody, even guards, to get offensive rebounds to help the team.
So in this growing season, what are some goals that y'all have set out once the process is kind of set, that the defense and offense is set? What does the end result look like for y'all? What statistics are increasing?
Rebound the ball, take care of the ball, so less turnovers, more rebounds,
Working as a team through adversity.
and being tough. As long as we're being tough through the entire 40 minutes, have to be the tougher team, have to give energy the entire 40 minutes.
Bree, do you want to expound a little bit on the adversity that you're facing right now?
I feel like in the beginning we was losing a lot of games, but it's we couldn't let that hold us down. We had to stay as a team and not go separate. So I just feel like us being as a team together, we could win and keep working together. So adversity is not going to knock us down.
Sure. So what are some goals before next game day for you?
Work hard.
I think that's work hard, energy, rebounding, and less turnover. I think that's for every game. That's our goal. Play really good defense. Everything starts on the defensive end of the floor, and then offense will come. And that's how we take as a team.
32 offensive rebounds. I did not know that this particular team was capable of that, but as I told them in the locker room, now that you've shown me that you are, my expectation is that you're going to compete for offensive rebounds. I'm really proud of everybody's contribution, whether they came in and scored or they came in and just played good defense to give somebody a breather. They were all in, and it's a good win.
You mentioned the offensive rebounds. It's probably not too often that you shoot the way you guys did tonight and win by 16 points. What happened there today? Why were you guys so good rebounding the ball on the offensive boards?
Well, a couple of things. I think, for Mandy, Deja, and Doc, because of where they are in our offense, and because of how people are going to play them in the offense, that's going to give them opportunities to get rebounds because nobody's going to block them out, because they're going to be hard to block out. Number two, we talked about, we were getting good looks at the three-point line, and we weren't hitting them. And that's going to happen, right, when you rely on a three-point shot. So what do you have to do? You got to go crash and get second and third chance opportunities. And I thought that after a timeout, we talked about it, and then they just refocused, and they said, okay, I'm going. And I felt like we tried to keep them fresh so that they can continue to go get them. Because it's hard to go get offensive rebounds, right? Somebody shoots, you get all excited, you're ready to run back on defense, but it takes a little bit of extra effort. And I think that they said, you know what? I'm going to give everything I have while I'm out here. And they did it.
As a coach, I imagine you're pretty pleased with that. I mean, you guys are going to rely on your shooting so much in this offense to have a night like that and still find a way to control the game.
Yeah, clearly disappointed in the fact that they shot 46%, so our defense has to be better. But for us to struggle a little bit offensively shooting the basketball and still compete and still find ways to make plays, yeah, I'm proud of that.
I thought Lipscomb had a lot of offensive success in that second half. Did they make any adjustments or anything at halftime that you struggled with, anything that you get a sense before even looking at film?
Well, I know when we were in our zone defense, our backside did not do well. As far as on the skip, we didn't get out with a sense of urgency on shooters. We talked about that before the game, understanding that you got to get out because they're going to put their shooters weak side. Then I think that for them, once the ball started hitting, like one person started hitting, it sort of got contagious. And other people who maybe shoot the three but don't shoot it a lot started to hit shots. So I think that's what happened. I think our backside of our zone wasn't good. But credit them, they hit shots.
You talked about the shooting. How much of it, it seemed like most of the looks were decent looks.
Mm-hmm.
Was it just a night where they just weren't settling through that rim?
I think it's a couple of things. When you're a shooter, you like to have a certain rhythm. I think there were a couple times when our point guards or the person with the ball gave it to them a little early, so they didn't get a chance to get their feet set. And they were taking some deep threes early, and they didn't need to. Just get to that three-point line and you'll be fine. And then a lot of them hit the front of the rim. So that's using your legs and getting great rotation on the shot. I think that's pretty much it, I think.
And, just to harp on the offensive rebounding some more, you outscored them 30-2 on second chance points. You mentioned it in your opening statement, but I guess that surprises you to see that from this group, 30-2 second chance.
Yeah, I feel like with the lineups that we're going to have out there, we're going to be small, so we have to compete. I don't know how many times we're going to be able to out-rebound a team, but we have to keep it competitive. And so when Sean, our sports information director, told me that we had 32 offensive rebounds, I was like, what? I did not know we had that many. I knew we were going, but I didn't know it added up to 32. But every night it's going to be a struggle for us to rebound. But again, they've shown me that they can, and so we'll have to have a highlights of offensive rebounds that we show up before games.
Go ahead.
With Bree and Owen and Hannah having both double digits tonight, what is and then not very close after that, what does that show about those three players and just their experience on the court?
Well, I felt like Olivia and Bree would lead us in scoring this year. I felt like they had to based off of their talent and what they're capable of doing. I think Hannah Noah is playing really, really well right now, and she is benefiting from playing with Bree and Olivia, where a lot of the attention has to go to those two. But I like to point out the fact that if you look at Mandy Madden, Deja Jones, and Dot, those three young ladies, they had, 18 points, right? 18 points, 12, 9, 21, 24 rebounds. 19 points and 24 rebounds, okay? Like, those three can produce like that every night. We're going to be in a lot of basketball games because I don't think we're going to shoot this poor every single night. But those three young ladies you talked about first, they are absolutely gonna, Bree and Olivia are definitely gonna lead us in scoring, and Hannah's gonna step up and be a threat, and she's playing really well. But if those three young ladies I talked about can produce like this, I like it.
So we talked a little bit earlier about communication on the floor tonight and how it was kind of spur of the moment. And so we're just seeing the transition process with a new offense, I think. And how important is that communication in the moment and being able to adjust in the moment for this team?
Oh, it's crucial because they have to be on the same page. And sometimes I find they're on one page and I'm on a different one, but the five that are on the floor are on the exact same page. And I can live with that. But they're on the same page because they're communicating with each other, and they've got great chemistry. But communication is huge, whether it's on offense or defense. And I think, you have Bree and Olivia who don't talk a whole lot, but Hannah talks a lot for them. So that's a role that she is good at, and if she continues to accept and thrive in, it's going to be good for us.
There were some times in the first half that the ball just needed to be slowed down, and Adriana did that for them. How great was that for you to see on the floor?
She's maturing as a point guard, and she's learning pace, and she's learning time and score, and she's learning a feel for the game, when to push, when to pull it back, and let's get a good look. And so she's just maturing, and that's what you want out of your sophomore point guard.
What are some things that this team has that you just can't coach? Positive, like
they surprise me because they can be quiet but be extremely competitive and have this intensity about them that you don't always see. And I like to see it, right? I like to see them fired up. I like to look in their eyes and know that, yeah, coach, I'm with you. And sometimes they'll just be, but then they're ready. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but that's something that they have that I can't coach. I do ask them to give me everything they have. And I said, if you give me your best, we'll live with it. So, but that other thing, like Bree and Olivia, they are quiet assassins, maybe. So we can maybe start to call them.
Sure.
Yeah. I can't coach, and I can't teach that. I can't teach them to be quiet.